So, where do I begin with this video? This is my 7th take right now. I haven't really talked about this on the channel. And last year, I know John Moore talked about it. I heard some other people talk about it. And at that point in time, I was still dealing with a lot in my life. This new year has started and things have gotten a lot better. Thankfully, it seems that things are getting much better in my life. But throughout my life, I have had my ups and downs. I am 28 years old. And I know there's other people out there that have gone through ups and downs and have their own problems. We all have our problems in life. And we are shaped by those problems. We are shaped by our past. We are a testament to what we have gone through. Our past experiences, our past emotions make us who we are today. I've always believed that. And my experiences have been up and down, as many of you guys out there probably have too. And some of my closer friends I've known for a while, know that I've gone through a lot. And that's what I wanted to talk about today. So thank you, John Moore. Thank you, everybody out there that's been talking about this over the last few months. And I made a promise when things got better in my life, I would definitely have a discussion on this and talk about my personal experiences. To whoever is out there watching this video, I hope you take something away from this. I hope you can relate, and I hope you remember never to give up. And that is, as we get here, the 2-minute mark, talking about depression and Yu-Gi-Oh! How Yu-Gi-Oh! Has kept me from really being super depressed. Now, if you guys don't know my history, I've talked about it a few times on this channel, so my older subscribers know me a lot better than my newer subscribers probably. I lost my mother when I was 9 years old to ovarian cancer. It was very sudden. We didn't know she had cancer until the later stages, and the day after she found out she had cancer, she passed away. I remember the last time I even saw her. My brother doesn't really remember my mother because he was too young. He was about 4 years old, almost 5 years old, and he doesn't remember anything about her really. I lost my father when I was in college, right when I was in my sophomore, junior year, and I lost my father to a stroke, a massive stroke, and he was my best friend. I lost my grandparents who took care of me a lot. And I was very close with my grandparents. I lost them very shortly after I lost my father, within a few months afterwards. And I was close with them, saw them on a regular basis, and I mean like daily basis. I interacted with them, so me and my grandparents were very close. And it's kind of strange, but if it wasn't for my grandmother, I would have probably never gotten into Yu-Gi-Oh! Fully. I would probably have not cared about it. And going back to the day we buried my mother, this is a funny, interesting story I've always thought about. The day we buried my mother is the day I got into anime. Fun, interesting little story. Something horrible happens and then something becomes a new part of your life. Because the day I got introduced to Pokemon, the Pokemon game came out. It was September 1999. Pokemon had been out for a few months, and me at that time, I was more introverted. I mainly would love, instead of doing what all the other kids were doing, I would be the type of kid that would be studying a history book, learning about all these people of history, because I love history. If you guys don't know, my 2 favorite decks in Yu-Gi-Oh! Are GK, 6 Samurais, stuff like that, history stuff. What was my favorite part in the entire Yu-Gi-Oh! Series? The Pharaoh's Memories arc, because ancient Egypt. So, the day my mother died, my friend, he's in the car with me, and he's like, you know what, play this game I've been playing, it's really cool. So I flick on a Game Boy, and what did I start to play? Pokemon Red. Pokemon Red, and he played Pokemon Blue. So we get to my cousin's house, where we had the funeral reception, and we all started playing Pokemon and watching the Pokemon anime. And that's how I got into anime. Interesting story. Nobody knows that. I don't think I've ever told that story to anybody, how I got into anime. The same day my mother, I buried her the same day I got into anime. Yeah. And after my mother died, I spent a lot of time at my grandparents' place because that was my escape. They had cable TV, Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, stuff of that nature. So I used to spend a lot of time over there with my grandparents. And I'll never forget, you know, when I was younger, even after my mother passed away, I was very happy. And I remember watching one day and seeing this random show. And I remember seeing this monster, Blue Eyes White Dragon, in the show. And I said, oh my gosh, this show is so awesome. Because if you guys don't know, my favorite Pokemon, it's Dragonite. Dragonite's my favorite Pokemon. So I watched the show, and I go to school a couple of days later, and my friends are playing it, and I asked them where did they get the cards, and they told me 7-Eleven, Toys R Us, things of that nature. So I go to Toys R Us with my grandmother, and I picked up, and I still have them to this day, and as I've said the story a million times, my 3 Blue Eyes White Dragons. These ones that I'm holding in my hand, that are near mint still, I picked up back then. And it was thanks to my grandmother that I got into Yu-Gi-Oh! Introduced me to the show by watching it there. I didn't have cable TV at my own house, so I watched it there, and then she's the one that got me the Blue Eyes cards, and even got me my first tins, and got me and my brother into Yu-Gi-Oh! And as time went on, going through high school, things were pretty good. I had a very good high school experience, for the most part. Pretty good overall, honestly. I played football, did track and field, sprint team, loved it. I was captain of the sprint team, enjoyed Fort Bar immensely. Things in my life in the 2000s were very good. After I graduated, I decided to go to college, and that's when things started to go downhill. My father's health started to deteriorate. He was addicted to painkillers. He had chronic back pain, and he was addicted to oxycodone. If you guys are doctors, you know probably things. Oxycodone is very addictive. So over the years, he had become immune to it, and we lied upon it. And I started to notice that as I started becoming, older, something's not right with my dad. But he still was a good person, very loving father as best he could be, but his body was just giving out. And I really started getting depressed because I was kind of gone through this like metamorphosis stage, playing Yu-Gi-Oh! When I was younger, playing it in high school with my friends. When we were doing track and field, we go to these big meets all day. I introduced them to Yu-Gi-Oh! And they played it as a kid, and we started playing Pokemon and all that stuff. And after that, it was kind of being shut down because my dad couldn't take care of my grandparents, so I started taking care of my grandparents. And I was kind of shut out for the rest of the world, except when I went to, classes and whatnot. And I was starting to get more depressed. I had gotten depressed after it finally hit me when I was younger that my mother died, but as time went on, I got more and more depressed. But my situation, I just felt like a rock stuck in the mud, or when you get your tires stuck in the mud and you keep hitting the gas and it just keeps spinning and spinning, whatever you try to do, nothing seems to work. That was my life. And Yu-Gi-Oh! Was my outlet. It became more as I started to get back into the game, even though I played it in high school, started playing more competitively. Playing with my buddies at Northern Virginia Community College and whatnot. My friends Will, Reggie, Alex, Gerald, they all know who they are. I got back into it more, and it was my outlet. And what I mean by my outlet is that when I got stressed out, exams, life, I would just turn to go play Yu-Gi-Oh. I would just, let's duel. Get my mind off things for like an hour or two. And that was nice. That was very nice and relaxing to do that. And as time kept going onwards, I really started to get depressed more and more. Yu-Gi-Oh became this... It became not a drug, not that, but like it became like the way how I would just try to get my mind off just for an afternoon, just to get my mind off everything, because everything was just going wrong in my life. Like I was getting my classes done, I was getting good grades, but it's just my family life, my home life. It wasn't good. And then my father passed away. And I had started this channel about a year prior to my dad passing, and everything went down the hole after that. Things got really bad. And I went to a very dark place in my mind. For a couple years. I did. When you see your entire life has been one thing, and within an instant, it just completely changes. Everything you knew, everyone you knew that was in your family, just gone. You have no place to call home, really. It takes a toll on the mind. So Yu-Gi-Oh became more of an outlet, and this channel really became an outlet, and I put more effort into it as time went on, and this was back in 2014, 2015, and it became my just way to keep my head above water, seeing positive comments, seeing good things, seeing the effort I put in paying off. It was very rewarding, and Yu-Gi-Oh in general became more and more of an outlet just to get through the daily grind of life and just to deal with this anxiety and depression I had. And I went to talk to counselors. Even after my mother died, I talked to counselors and things of that nature. But I've seen multiple counselors, and I for some people out there, I highly recommend you should go talk to a counselor if you have, severe depression or anxiety or things of that nature. But for my personal takeaway, it just wasn't enough for me. It didn't seem to do much for me. They'd be like, try this, try that. I tried it out, try different things. It just didn't work. Tried medication. It just didn't work. It was more of a mind thing, I guess, my mindset. I was just so deep in my head that the only thing that really kept me above water was playing Pokemon, spending time with friends, and playing Yu-Gi-Oh. Because Yu-Gi-Oh, and I'm playing with my cards right now, just like as I'm talking, as kind of like a stress release. Because I'm kind of nervous about talking this video. I don't know how the reception would be from people. But as time went on, things got worse. About a year ago, my relationship I had with my girlfriend at the time got really bad. People that know me personally know the story, what had happened. But I don't want to really get into too much detail. It's still fresh in my mind. But 3 bad things happened to me within the span of 2 weeks. My girlfriend broke up with me, someone who I was preparing to get married to, get engaged to, spend the rest of my life with, just ups and leaves me because her friends don't like me, I guess. I don't know. Kind of know, but I don't want to talk about it that much, if you're okay with that. Got in a major car accident, had to pay a lot to get that fixed up. And I had some other personal things happen to me at one of my jobs I worked at. So a lot of bad things happened back to back to back. And I'll be honest, you would think that the worst time of my life is after losing a parent and losing your mother and losing your family. I can honestly say that was the loneliest I'd ever been in my life, the last 6-8 months. And people that know me know I went through a lot, and it was very depressing. I got very depressed. I will be faithfully honest, I went to a very dark place, thought some very dark thoughts about myself, didn't appreciate myself, thought I was a piece of trash. And for a good year, almost a year, I was in this very dark place. But over the course, starting in November of this past year, things started getting better. Slowly. I can definitely thank my editor, who was very helpful to me. I can definitely thank my friends at Island Games. And I can definitely think of all my Yu-Gi-Oh friends that I personally know on a personal level, and who are good friends of mine who I duel on a regular basis. If it wasn't for them, and some other friends of mine, I can honestly say I don't think I could have made it through. So Yu-Gi-Oh became a big outlet for me. The interaction, the human interaction, everything, it made a lot. It meant a lot. Making this channel, going to the YCSs, it helped out a lot. And thankfully things are getting better, it looks like. I have a new girlfriend. I'm going on a date with her. We've been talking for about 3 weeks. We've Skyped, we've met each other online, but we're getting to meet in person. She's a very sweet person. So I have a new date. It's a new person I'm seeing. I got a full-time job now. Not living out of my car. For a good year I was living out of my car, guys. You probably don't know that. You wouldn't know. But I was partially living I was couch surfing and living in a car. You would have no idea. Because I never talked about it until now. So things have gotten better. So I want to end this video by saying to you guys out there that, remember, in the darkest times you have to push through those things. Push through. And things do get better in the end. And Yu-Gi-Oh can be there to help you out. And the friends you make in Yu-Gi-Oh can be there to help you out. Because there's a lot of good people that play this game. A lot of good people. And they can be very helpful. And in those times, it's a community. We help each other out. Be it the online community, be it real life Yu-Gi-Oh. You make a lot of good friends, and there's a lot of good people in this game. And they will help you out. So remember, guys, if you ever feel like the world you're thinking bad thoughts, if you ever feel like you're at the end of your rope, things get better. They will. I don't care what's happening with you right now, you watching this video, they do get better, I promise you that. You just gotta keep pushing forward, putting one foot in front of the freaking other, and eventually you'll get to the end of that tunnel. No matter if it takes months, years, things get better. Just keep pushing forward. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'm sorry if it's very somber, but things are getting better. And hopefully this new year can be a very brand new year for me, and things will get amazing. So if you enjoyed this video, please leave a thumbs up. And until next time, take care. Have fun dueling. Good luck dueling to all of you. And I'll see you guys next time. Take care, everybody.